You know, you always hear me say digital stuff never really goes away. Well, I'm not wrong. It's time for the Democrat candidate for Virginia Attorney General to drop out of the race. Republicans say that, and they won't take no as an answer to it. Here is what has been revealed, unearthed, really. Jay Jones sent text messages to a Democratic colleague in 2022. And in those messages, he was making a call for a deeply disturbing call for violence against Republicans. In reference to those who were publicly honoring a deceased Republican state legislator, Jay Jones wrote to a former colleague, quote, "If those guys die before me, I will go to their funerals to piss on their graves, send them out awash in something." He also wrote this about then Virginia House Speaker Todd Gilbert. "3 people, 2 bullets, Gilbert, Hitler, and Pol Pot. Gilbert gets 2 bullets to the head. Spoiler, put Gilbert in the crew with the 2 worst people you know, and he receives both bullets every time." Disgusting. Jones apologized, saying, in part, "Reading back on those words made me sick to my stomach." Now, it's 2022. It's not like the guy was 15. Come on. It was 3 years ago. And then he says, "I am embarrassed, ashamed, and sorry." Virginia Governor Glenn Youngkin called Jones's violent rhetoric beyond disqualifying. President Trump called on Jones to drop out immediately. Jones' opponent and current Virginia Attorney General Jason Miyares earlier today.
As a top prosecutor in the state of Virginia, your job is to stop violence. I can't imagine somebody running for this office that has advocated for violence. This is not the temperament of somebody that should be running for attorney general. So I don't view this as a right versus left issue. This is a right versus wrong issue.
And look, say maybe you don't want him to quit. You've raised money for him, so on and so forth. Would you still publicly back him is the question here. Democrats are still doing so. The Virginia Beach Democrat Committee with this. We are lined up, 10 toes down, ready to organize, mobilize, and deliver voters for Jay. Recent press may have spotlighted past mistakes. We say let those without sin cast the first sin. So they can find religion. Interesting. In focus now, Steve Hilton, Republican candidate for governor of the great state of California. Steve, we are in what some are calling an assassination culture. We've had 2 attempts on a presidential candidate's life, Donald Trump, and then an actual assassination of Charlie Kirk.
It is unbelievable to me that this guy is still in this race and you have Democrats supporting him. This is so appalling. It's just beyond belief. I mean, it's clear now that this guy should drop out. But not only that, every member of that committee that put out that appalling statement should resign. And if they won't do it, every leader, to the extent they even have leaders in the Democratic Party, should be telling these people to resign. Who is the head of the DNC? I don't even know. Whoever that is should be expelling these people from the party. Exactly as you were discussing with my friend Giano earlier, there is a culture of violence now on the left, and it's broader than this particular case. You look at the way they speak. Look at California Governor Gavin Newsom just recently telling his supporters to, quote, punch Republicans in the mouth. He needs to be disciplined. The head of the party, if there is one, needs to tell Gavin Newsom to withdraw those encouragements to violence. It is completely out of control. This is a sick party with a sick culture of violence and death. They need to deal with it.
Well, despite outcry from Republicans, Democrat candidate for Virginia Governor Abigail Spanberger has not called for Jay Jones to step down. Instead, here's what she said. "I made it clear to Jay that he must fully take responsibility for his words. What I have also made clear is that as a candidate and the next governor of our Commonwealth, I will always condemn violent language in our politics." Her opponent and current Virginia Lieutenant Governor Winsome Earle-Sears hit back with a new ad.
I'm excited about this ticket.
It's been great to be out on the campaign trail with Jay Jones.
Ouch. Oh, and in her own words, Spanberger. Steve.
I mean, look, it's just unbelievable. There's got to be consequences for speaking like this, especially, as you said, in the culture that we have now, when we've had real people hurt, families ripped apart. I don't even want to... Exactly. And there are no consequences. And this guy thinks he can put out a statement saying, I take full responsibility. He's taking zero responsibility. If he actually took responsibility, he'd have been out of this race immediately. Every single Democrat, every single one, should be asked to condemn this and to encourage this guy to get out of the race. And if they don't, then they are complicit. Every single Democrat on every news program. It is time to stop this. As I said, Gavin Newsom telling his supporters to punch Republicans in the mouth. And he thinks he's going to run for president on that platform of violence. And no one's saying anything in the party. And this guy is the front runner, apparently now, for the presidential nomination, encouraging violence. This party has a real problem with violence, a real problem, and they have to deal with it.
Kerry Conyer, that former colleague of Jay Jones, mistakenly texted, was so upset he reportedly called her to explain his point about gun violence. He told her the only way his rival's wife could feel the pain of victims would be to have her child die in her arms. His colleague hung up on him, and this text exchange followed. Jones, I wasn't attacking you. I was trying to understand your logic. Kerry Conyer, you weren't trying to understand. You were talking about hoping Jennifer Gilbert's children would die. Jay Jones here. Yes, I've told you before, only when people feel pain personally do they move on policy. Conyer here. I point blank ask you more than 3 times, and you dug in that you meant it. Jones, I mean, do I think Todd and Jennifer are evil and that they're breeding little fascists? Yes. Oh, there's the word. There it is, fascists.
Yeah. I mean, Harris, you know, this is beyond belief, truly. I mean, the total lack of humanity. And again, this speaks to where this party has got to. Their ideology, their contempt for the other side is so deep now that this is how they speak, and this is in private. And so we can assume that this is not the only one. What are the chances that this is the only Democrat in all of America that thinks like this? It is so sick. It is truly sick.
Well,
it's evil. I mean, there are no words, and yet nothing is happening. And there's not a single Democrat at any kind of level of leadership in the party who's actually doing the decent thing and saying we have to stand up to this culture of violence in our party. It is just unbelievable.
Well, look, I know you do this. You talk to everybody. It's important, I would imagine, for Republicans to begin to grab the ear of disaffected and disenfranchised Democrat voters now. I mean, they have no place to go. And you don't want to lose everybody in a system off of one side of the aisle. And I have heard you talk. Look, you will talk to anybody. I've seen it, Steve. That's got to start to happen. Because if they lean in on the left from what you just described, from what we're experiencing, there's a hollow soul right now with some of these people not backing away from what he's saying. Your last quick thought.
That's exactly right. That's a beautiful but tragic phrase, but that is what is going on. And the response has to be to focus on our humanity, to reach out, to talk to people and bring them into a conversation about how we make lives better. And this kind of stuff just has to be condemned right across the board.
Amen. Steve, great to have you. Thank you.
Hey everyone, I'm Emily Campagno. Catch me and my co-hosts Harris Faulkner and Kaylee McEnany on Outnumbered every weekday at 12 p.m. Eastern, or set your DVR. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page for daily highlights.